And
Hey,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Dallas Cowboys Star Chronicle Football Podcast. My name's Troy Hill. We're joined back with the Starstruck fan from Special Assignment. And it's been 2 weeks and stuff, and we haven't been on. But it's been the same thing as far as the Cowboys' performance. There's no difference between the 49er game or the Atlanta Falcon game or the Lions game. We know what this team is. They have not had any type of effort, put any type of effort into trying to improve this football team. Our general manager is a nut job. This team plays with no type of spirit. Our fan base is just, of course, as always, in shambles. Now we got Dak Prescott hurt. What do you think, Starstruck fan?
it's bad. It's bad. It's uh it's bad. That's all I can say. Man, I think back and of course I tell my age with majority of us on this broadcast. And I look back and I remember I was pretty young, but I still remember the 1-15 season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why this one seems so much worse. And the only thing I could put a finger on it is why is because we have more talent than we had
Yes.
the team that was 1-15. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's why this is just bringing about so much more like what is really going on because you expected it. Well, I can't say I expected it as the season went along and at 1-15 because of who we had. But now the expectation with the roster, and I grant, yeah, we got injuries. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But we as fans have seen teams operate better in circumstances where people have been injured and they still somehow are winning games, and but with us it's like it falls apart bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean,
No
again,
adversity.
yeah, I mean, it all stems down and trickles down from
Yeah.
one individual, and that's
Yeah.
that's Jerry Jones, and unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to go to the length saying that Mike McCarthy has lost his team. Um, I don't know if that's 100% true. When people say that stuff, that's kind of just like speculation. They're trying to paint the narrative of the thing. I just think that this team has so many bad things going on all at once. It is almost damn near impossible, especially with the structure and how this team operates to try and turn things around.
Mhm.
It would be a lot easier, I would think, for another football team going through this situation and maybe turning it around. But Jerry just gets in his way. He gets in his own way so damn much. He won't let people do football things, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And and now Dak's hurt, and and again, I'm a supporter of Dak. I think he gets a raw deal in a lot of things, and I think it's really ridiculous when people. I mean, I've seen people posting that players on the team don't like Dak because of his contract. Again, that's just some stupid nonsense that a fan would say that has zero clue about how football or anything like that works. Because Dak Prescott still remains to be one of the most liked players in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
Um, which does bring me to the Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs podcast discussing quarterbacks. I will
Mhm.
love to hear your thoughts on this because me personally, if I understood what team was about, and we can all agree that, of course, Dak's not a top 10 quarterback right now. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be hard to even say he's a top 15,
Yeah.
maybe even a top 20. I mean, it's out there. But to sit there on your own damn podcast and have a show
Yeah.
talking about who the top 10 quarterbacks is classless, it's
Yeah.
unprofessional,
Yeah.
and it just keeps on barking and harping to the things I've been saying about Barker Parsons this whole damn for the last couple of years. He's not
Yeah.
a very bright guy. He's in it for himself, and I wouldn't care if they traded Micah Parsons and didn't sign him, re-sign him. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree, and I think I even shared some of this in our little chat.
Mm-hmm.
That when I saw that, I couldn't believe the topic. With all that is going on with this team right now, why would you pick such a sensitive topic like that when you know that it's you're most likely not going. That's what I don't really like about you know these spot on questions when you're on broadcasts like that.
Hmm.
When it comes to professional players, now people like you and myself, it's not really going to touch as many people as we would like for it from a media standpoint. But
Hmm.
as an NFL player, it's going to hit so many people. So you have to really be cautious of what you're being asked, how you respond to something. You really have to take those kind of things into consideration. And when you're going online, kind of almost have some things scripted at that level,
Hmm.
so that you don't put your team or your credibility or whatever on the line. And I think to bring up something like if you wanted to talk about something, you got both you and Diggs on the line. Where does the defense rank?
Yeah.
If you want to put something out there, where do you feel your defense rank? Where do you feel that the team can improve in defense and some things like speak to something that you directly are connected to or involved to. But
Hmm.
to name quarterbacks like that, I just think, and like I said, I agree with you. I mean, it would be tough to rank Dak high in that area. But to me, to bring up a topic like that and then you're not going to consider your own teammate, I think, yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yes, because it's statements like that that ends up causing more speculation that there's
Yes.
trouble in the locker room, or there's or whatever the case may be. And again, I just don't think. Um, Again, Micah Parsons. I mean, he seems to be a hell of an athlete when things are running, where things are set for him to thrive.
Mhm.
When things get a little challenging, Micah Parsons is nowhere to be seen. That's a whole other conversation. Um, but I just don't get it. I mean, just little things like that. I don't want a player in my organization like that. One, for shit like that, and two, I don't want somebody I have to sit there and make all these changes in my defense to make him appear to be better, and then the rest of the defense ends up suffering.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm kind of done with him.
yeah,
Trayvon Diggs, tackle some damn buddy. I mean, I don't get either. I don't get how we are the only franchise, I feel like, that is marketed as a brand and the
Mhm.
players are a brand before they even do anything, before they win anything, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just so damn weird to me. I mean, it's different. It's different. Me and you, we both live here, so we can go see billboards of Darren Woodson and stuff. We can,
yeah,
we can see if your chiropractor and like
yeah,
eye surgery and all that type of stuff.
yeah.
But you know what? Darren Woodson
Mhm.
has a Super Bowl ring,
Exactly.
so he's built the brand.
Yes.
I mean, Micah Parsons he's not a brand. He's a dude
Yeah.
that sacks somebody on an occasion and does a bear crawl across the ground. That's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sick of some of the
Yeah.
players, and I'm
And it's
sick of
been said, yeah. It's been
yeah.
said by some of these, legends that these guys are going off of the history and the legacy of the players that have came before them, and they have done nothing to contribute to
No,
it.
no, they have not done one thing, and none of them want to take responsibility of what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
we still got people blaming this whole thing on Dak. Like Dak's out there tackling people and doing all this other stuff, which I will never understand. I mean, can't we all just collectively agree as a fan base that this whole thing sucks, and that's what it
Yeah,
is.
it is. It's just a dumpster fire. It
E-
is by all means. Every level, every level from the very top, and I can't say down to the way bottom because then you start getting down to the kicker, and I think he's probably about the most consistent thing we've
Yeah,
got for the most part that's on this team. I mean, he's about the only guy that you really can't look at and say, okay, yeah, he had one bad miss, but I mean,
and you know what? The thing is with him is he is until they figure out a way to break it.
yeah,
And that's how this team works.
yeah,
There's some things that are great. Michael Parsons, yeah, he was a great one. Yeah, he was great. But they done figured out a way to break him. You got to have your whole defensive structure built around that one guy to make him successful, and everybody else suffers. Because if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do in those one couple of plays, it exposes everybody else.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get Mike McCarthy. I don't get Mike Zimmer. I don't get the decision of not trying to make a phone call for Derrick Henry. I don't get them making all these goofy trades. They're still trying to give up fourth round picks for nobodies. I do not get any of it.
Yeah. I don't get it at all. I understand the move, but I understand it's a future thing, and you're banking and you're hoping, but you're making a move as though the rest of the team is all that.
Yeah.
This is the type of move you make when you got CD 100%. You got Brandon Cooks is out there, doing his thing, and now you're bringing a guy to kind of help out Turpin. Mingo, he's a more of a physical runner type of guy. So
Hmm.
I kind of put a post out there on tonight that I feel that they're bringing this guy in for consideration because of CD getting banged up doing these sweeps, that they're going to try to use this guy in a Debo type of role because it didn't work for CD. You just got him all banged up doing it,
Hmm.
and I think he's going to come in kind of taking, that slot and, occasional outside, but be that physical guy to get those handoffs to kind of help build a running game. I think that's what the plan is, but you've got so many other positions like defensive tackle, linebacker, safety, and all these other areas that the team to me was not as close as what they might think and think, hey, we just making this one move here and this is going to keep the train rolling. I don't know. I don't see that.
I mean, these people don't. I don't think they don't understand the value of that fourth pick. San
Yeah,
Francisco was
yeah,
the backup running back they had like 98 yards rushing. That was a guy that we overlooked and stuff, and could have had that fourth round pick we gave up for
yeah,
Trey Lance. And that example runs rampant through the league right now. Plus, with that fourth round pick, there's a lot of things we could have did with that pick.
yeah,
Especially
yeah,
in the running game. So
yeah.
let's just talk about the running game just for a little bit. I don't foresee Zeke being back on this team. Maybe. I mean, he's obviously having some problems. He's having being late to meetings and missing meetings. You already know I'm not cool with that sort of stuff.
Oh
You
no.
know, I don't know what the deal is, but if he's gonna be like that, he definitely needs to go. I'd just rather just roll with Dottle and Cook if it comes down to that. Um, I just don't get any there's just no action on this team. I mean, they're just so settled into what they got, and I don't know what fairy tale Jerry Jones is in, or what fairy tale he's trying to live. I mean, this team's not magically gonna click on a button and just be dominant. I mean,
Yeah,
there's too many holes.
yeah, he's still looking back at the past, and I did want to. I overlooked Overshown as being also a piece that has been really doing some things. So
Yeah.
I just want to apologize for overlooking him earlier as
Yes.
being another one in addition to the kicker, Overshown. But as far as Jerry, he's still living what is many of us Cowboy fans are accused of living in the past. Comparing players to like Hall of Famers like
Yeah. Michael
Michael
Earl
Irvin
Irvin.
and Emmett Smith and players that, well, when I had this guy, this is what we did. Well, that stuff worked those so many years ago, and those players back then were built different. They didn't come out of NIL programs, and these guys were hard-nosed players, that guys that got out there, they practiced pretty much like they played on Sundays type of
Hmm.
stuff. They weren't on podcast type of things. These guys were just working their tails off to win the team, and they believed that they were going to win a Super Bowl every year. They weren't just taking it one week at a time, trying to see if they can win a division or beat this
No,
team.
no, it was only one
Every year they
objective.
went into it, we can win the Super Bowl. We can win it all. That
Mm.
was the mentality. There was a championship mentality that we've been missing now for quite some time. I mean, yeah, Dak says it, we can win a Super Bowl and things like that during, preseason or whatever, but the body language, the way teams play is we have not consistently beaten good teams to really show that that's what this team is made of.
Yeah, this team they don't have that level of grit. They don't have that
No,
level of drive. They just I
no,
mean, it's clear that they don't.
no.
I mean, they'll never be another Michael Irvin. They'll definitely never be another Emmitt Smith. Whether You think he's the greatest running back of all time? I do, all around. But I mean, people say Barry Sanders or whatever. There's not going to be another Emmitt Smith,
Yeah.
you know, and it is what it is. There's not going to be another Troy Aikman,
Mhm.
and I just think that when we think about the past, I think we take a lot of that for granted. I
Yeah.
mean, when you think of people like now, Dak Prescott, or even going back a few years ago with Des Bryant, these guys couldn't even lace up these other guys' boots. And I love Dak Prescott, but they
Oh
can't.
yeah. No.
And just going on to Des Bryant, will you please just shut up?
Yeah, I saw that.
He knows how football works. He knows it's a damn team sport.
Yeah.
But you just ain't gonna mention the defense at all. I mean, it's all so. I mean, we need Dak out there. We need everything running where we got to score 60 points a game because the
Yeah. We
defense
need an
can't stop
offensive
anybody.
coordinator guy out here
Yeah,
that
I just don't. It's just too many fans that don't know nothing. Too many ex players that just seem to just forget. And it's like these are people everybody want to listen to with absolutely zero skins on the wall that have not won any damn thing.
and that's the thing. That's what we just was talking about. You got these Michael Irvins, Emmett, championship guys, Troy Aikman. People give Troy such a hard time, but he don't have the stats. But he's got the rings. He's got the championship. Troy was the type of quarterback that fit the mold of the team that we needed at that time.
Yeah, and one of the most accurate balls in NFL. But go ahead.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we needed when it came down to postseason. Very few times, except for like the end of his career,
Hmm.
when things were done at that point, where his postseason did not live up to the performance that it should have. But for the most part, when Troy got into that postseason, man, it was a different mentality. He
Hmm.
was making those throws, and it was never. I never felt like I had to turn my head, close my eyes, put my head in my palms when Troy was
Nope.
putting the ball in the air,
Mm-mm.
type of stuff. And everybody's, well, look who he had catching. Well, the ball had to get to him. You know,
Exactly.
it wasn't like Michael Irvin was pulling the ball on a string out of Troy's hand. The ball
Mm-mm.
had to get there.
Yep.
Exactly.
That too. Him and Alvin Harper, because he was
Yeah.
hitting him on that deep ball, just deep on Alvin Harper.
That
So
49ers play. Yeah.
with
Troy,
so much separation, it
the
was
confidence
perfect.
that he had on that play when he
Yes.
steps up to the line and Michael Irvin lines up on the opposite, as has been said so many times. The play was not even meant to go on that side of the field. Michael
Yeah.
Irvin lined up on the opposite side of the field, thinking the play was going to be ran again to that side. Troy got confused when he got up to the line and was wondering, well, what was going on? Well, I'm going to still run the play even though it's Alvin Harper now in that position,
Yeah.
because it's open.
Yep.
I'm not going to force it over here to Irvin when I know this play is open on this, decision making, that
Yes.
I know this guy wants the ball, but this guy is going to be open based upon what I see at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets that ball rip, and Alvin Harper is taking off down the field.
Yep. I
And it's
mean,
the difference for us not going home against San Francisco that year and playing for a Super Bowl.
yeah. Yeah, and it's just sad too because I don't know what goes on in the head of Dak Prescott, but it has to be heavy. This man can't do anything right. It seems like, or that's. The way they make it feel, the way people make it feel like. Well, he got a child. Well, he shouldn't be sitting having a child. Oh well, he got a girlfriend. Well, he should marry her. Well, he proposed. Well, why he worried about the season? Worried about proposing? What the hell? It's just silly with this guy. It's just silly. And then most importantly, everyone claims that he needed to move his legs more,
Yeah,
which it sounds like a great idea,
yeah,
but he's a nine. How many years is he in the league? 9 years.
yeah. Eight, 9.
So, how many quarterbacks do you know 8 or 9 years should be running or doing anything like of that sort and stuff at that point of their career?
I mean, at the end of the day, when nothing else is working, 31 years old. You've got to get it done no matter what. And I understand. I said he had close to 20 yards of grass in front of him.
Yeah,
Most guys are going to take off in that situation. Aaron Rodgers, I don't at 40 or whatever, I think if he's seen that much field in front of him, he's going to run. He's probably going to slide after about 10 or 15 yards.
yeah,
But I think any quarterback with that much yard grass in front of him is going to take that kind of opportunity and go for it. I'm not disappointed that he did. I'm disappointed, of course, that he got injured.
yeah,
But that much field, and you have got to do something. You got to take ownership of this team if nobody else is going to do it. Like, look, I'm going to get it done. I'm open. I'm going to run it, but be smart about it.
yes. But if you have, but you have an
Yeah,
owner and a coaching
yeah,
staff that's like in the back of your head saying, "Don't run, stay in the pocket, try
yeah,
and make things
yeah,
happen." What are you supposed to do?
exactly.
I mean,
And that's the thing. He's a nice guy. He's too much of a nice guy, and as much again a supporting Dak. And I was a little disappointed that they extended him at the time. Only reason why, and hear me out, is
hmm
because for one, I really feel that he deserves better. I really think this organization is really not helping him develop into the quarterback that he really truly could be
true.
because of the environment that he's in, because of the limited coaching that we can bring in around him.
hmm
Sometimes I'm almost hoping that he can be like a DeMarcus Ware and go elsewhere and show succeed, play without the pressure that he's getting it down. I would love for him to succeed here, but I'm just gonna be realistic and be like, I just don't know if it's gonna happen here because I just don't think he's gonna ever have or Jerry's gonna put a team together enough to be to allow that to happen. And he
Yeah.
showed it this year. He didn't do it in 2024.
hmm No, I just think I want him to win. And if it takes him to go to another
Yeah,
team to win, I
yeah,
will definitely support Dak Prescott. I'm not
yeah,
going to support their team obviously because I'm a
yeah,
Cowboys fan for
yeah,
life,
yeah,
even though it's really hard.
yeah.
But let's kind of step towards the future a little bit. Got a big divisional game coming up here against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mhm.
I feel like it's going to be more of the same. You have any silver lining to provide to us?
Uh, yeah. I don't know. I remember Cooper Rush coming in this situation before, and it didn't look like it was going to be anything either. Granted, he was playing with a much better team
Uh
that
huh.
he's got going into this week now. So you got to consider that. I know he's going to play a lot more loose. I mean, that's what you do as a backup quarter. You got nothing to lose. You're already on the bench.
Yeah.
So he's going to come out there. He's going to sling it, play with a little bit more confidence, play a little bit. He watches from the sideline significantly to watch the mistakes, to watch the goods, the bads, to be able to get out there, you would hope, and be able to make some plays. So I don't think that do I think he's not going to make some plays? I think he will. It's just whether he'll be able to do it with the limited offense. Are they're going to have to help him out with the running game because you don't want him going out there having to throw 300 something yards. I don't know if it's even possible,
Yeah.
but you don't want to put that situation on him. But it comes down to, can the Cowboys have enough defense to stop the Phillies offense so Cooper Rush isn't put in a situation where he's having to drop back? And I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And plus, I think Saquon Barkley is going to go off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yep. It's
it's
too
just
much
it.
because they got too many weapons. You got because if you bottle up on Saquon, now you're gonna have Jalen Hurts running out the outside because
hmm
he's going to run. He is going to run with the ball if the opportunity presents itself. He's gonna read option. If that defense starts sucking in on Saquon, he is going to run it outside, and they're gonna use Devonta Smith and everybody else that they got on that team to keep the Cowboys defense so confused on this upcoming weekend. That's what I see.
hmm Yeah, it's just we got too many holes. And
Yeah,
to me personally, I think it would take a miracle to beat this team right now. You
I
know,
yeah,
I mean, it's just way too much going on.
yeah.
Um, Cooper Rush and stuff, great backup quarterback. We're going to start hearing the chance of him becoming a starter, even though no other team in the NFL tried to make an attempt to sign this man to be a starter on his team. We're supposed to believe that he can be a starter here. It's just a more Dallas Cowboy fan tomfoolery and nonsense. But what's your outlook on on the season? We'll close out with this. Do you think there's any chance of turning this thing around, or you just think it's done? Stick a fork in them. Start looking forward to next year. What's your thoughts?
I think it's done. I think this team, where we're sitting at about 3-5 right now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't see this team getting more than 6 wins. I mean, if it happens more than that and they catch fire some kind of way, I'm going to be stunned for one because to me there's just so much, so many holes on this team. Like I said, at various positions, that as you face different teams, it just seems like put your hand over the holes to try to stop the leak. It's just
Mm-hmm.
going to be too many of them. I just don't see this team winning more than 6 games. I just don't. With
Mm-hmm.
the amount of competition that we have coming up on the schedule, you got to think like, where can you find a game to pick for them to win more than 3 more games into the season? I think is
It's
going to
hard.
it's going to be tough. You get Micah back, and everybody's like, well, we could start getting some players back. Well, before they left, the team was 2-2.
Yep.
So it wasn't like the team was undefeated. We're 4-0. So they were 2-2. They
Nope.
were a 500 team with a healthy squad,
Yeah, and
if we remember back.
if you include yeah, Michael was
Yep.
there and
Got the
D Law.
brakes beat off us by the Saints. Yep.
Yep, and
Got ran all over by the Ravens.
they were also there that the year before that last game against
Yeah.
the Packers.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
we
so,
started going out against the Giants. The
yeah,
injuries occurred against the Giants.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I
So I don't
agree.
know. Two and
Yeah,
two. If you were 2-2 with a healthy team, how do you expect the guys coming back that probably aren't even going to be 100% because you're going to be forcing them back in the lineup to try to make a run now down the stretch? I just don't see it.
yeah. It's going to be a rough go. So I agree with you 100%. I don't think there's any saving this team. One thing that did just pop in my mind. Washington Commanders are playing some very good football right now.
Yes.
And I would like to actually close with this. You know, everyone's like talking about Dan Quinn. Um, this is my problem with just fans and people in general. Is that people automatically people forget stuff so damn quickly. It's funny. Don't people realize this stuff? I'm not a fan of Dan Quinn. Definitely not a fan of Mike McCarthy. I wouldn't want any of them to be the head coach for this team.
Yeah.
And let me just explain. Dan Quinn was part of this Cowboy team was getting blown up and having people rush for like 10 billion yards against us. Dan
Yeah.
Quinn as a head coach was also up 28 points in the Super Bowl and stuff and got literally like destroyed and stuff. Does anybody forget these things?
Mm-mm.
Dan Quinn is my guy lightning in the bottle, but at the moment, but Dan Quinn is not a great football coach.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he hasn't done anything to prove that he is a good football coach. So, I mean, I just wish people would stop having, yes, things are bad here, but I don't want him to be Dan Quinn bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, I mean, you could have that Mako paint on your car or something, and your car is sharp. That shit's gonna fade in about 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's what's getting ready to happen to the Washington Commanders eventually.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
and even if it doesn't, to be honest, even if it doesn't, you've got a quarterback that people are still learning. You've got to, you really, what people make the mistake of doing is you can't compare what someone is doing that was with the Cowboys that are now in a different environment, have some different pieces, hold totally different mentality. There's
mm-hmm,
not that pressure, there's not that media. They're just out there, well, like some of the guys were saying, the Hall of Fame status of tours and things like that. But you got these guys, the focus is completely different now with your Commanders, and the Commanders are playing a low level schedule. A lot of teams feed off of those type of schedules when they're not playing for all the first place teams in the division. We had some concerns coming in this season, even with the Cowboys,
mm-hmm,
before they started getting injured, that they're playing a first place schedule. Every first place team, pretty much almost in every division on their schedule. The Commanders aren't seeing that. They're seeing some similarities because they're playing the same divisions that the Cowboys are, but they're not getting every number one team, you know, um, on their schedule.
mm-hmm.
So you got to take those into consideration too, because now, and I said they're looking good. Daniels threw the Hail Mary. So they got the victory. The head coach gets another win, but at the end of the day, they were a Hail Mary away from losing. Again,
Hmm.
things are just different when you get in that situation. Could the Cowboys have probably pulled that off? Probably not. Probably would. For
No.
one, Dak probably wouldn't have got the time to sit back there and buy his time to put a ball that deep down the field.
Yeah,
So
absolutely not.
yeah, so he's looking good because of the situation he's in. He's got better old line play. The GM brought in players. He was pulling guys all out of free agency, and look who they just signed. What, Marcus Lattimore
Yeah.
from the. So look, you're giving Quinn credit, but you have to think if Quinn is here in Dallas, guess what Quinn is having? Quinn is having the team right now that Mike McCarthy is coaching, and
Yeah.
that's not a very good football team right now.
Nope. Nope. There's no balance, no discipline.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. And it's just a team that will creatively try and figure out a new way to lose every single week. It's like they got a board and stuff in the back. And they're just like any possible way you can lose a game. I hope they got this board finally finished because I'm sick of it.
Yeah. They've already got six penalties on the scoreboard on the scorecard for them going into next week already. Six penalties. You
Yep.
already
Yep.
just randomly
Guaranteed.
name them.
Yep.
Randomly
Guaranteed.
name them.
There's gonna be offsides.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a holding.
Holding. Yep.
There's gonna be a 12 man on the field.
Probably a
There's
delay of game.
Yep, delay game. There's gonna be a hold. There's gonna be a hold on a kick return.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a late
False
hit.
start.
Yep, a late hit.
Yep. Offsides on the defense.
Yep, and these are discipline penalties, people. This
Yeah.
ain't.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got beat by my guy. I better pull him down instead instead
Yeah.
of
It's
giving
not a
up this
headshot.
touchdown. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is this
Or
is
hit on the
fix.
quarterback.
Yep, this is fixable stuff that
Yeah.
should not ever happen.
Yeah.
Not with the frequency of the Dallas Cowboys. Anyways, I'm gonna say they shouldn't. It should not never happen. But Jesus, these
Yeah.
plays are guaranteed. But anyways, we're out of time this evening. As always, it's always a great time talking about Dallas Cowboy football. Do you have anything final or any final words for the people starstruck?
I really don't know what to say right now. Just go Cowboys, finish strong. Get out there, beat some teams that you're unexpected being. If you're going to get about 6 wins, hopefully more than that. At least beat some teams that are unexpected. Surprise some people, mess up some playoff chances for other teams.
Yeah, do something. Well, at least you're a little more optimistic than me. My word to the people is this thing sucks. And there's no and
Or the Dak Prescott reading the lips of Dak Prescott those words.
yeah, yeah. And to me, I mean, they call him on camera saying it this time and stuff. I'm willing to bet you a cookie that man's done said that several times this year on the sideline
Yeah,
because I know I would have. And then
yeah.
for
He's
anybody,
probably
and for
just maybe said in his head this is the first time he verbalized it.
I don't know, but I mean, again, with he said we suck again
Yeah,
for for fans to try and twist it into something else.
yeah,
I swear, I enjoy these fans with their opinions, and most has never took a snap or anything in their entire life, or never played no
yeah,
type of team sport or anything. But they just know exactly how a locker room works and everything.
yeah,
I mean, because if you've been in a locker room, no matter what level of year, what level of expertise or sport it is, you get how things work, and you can tell the difference between someone that's been in it and someone that's never have, or
yeah,
someone that has just common sense and can figure how it would be, and a person that just has absolutely zero common sense.
yeah.
So, I mean, there is a difference. But on behalf of myself and AKA or Ron, AKA the Starstruck family, bid you guys adieu. And you want to go ahead and give them that close, or you don't want to?
How about them Cowboys?
Catch you next time, people.
Still.